For centuries, many women have often wondered why men sometimes refuse to commit or go ahead to get married to them. This question has troubled so many women throughout generations, and it can be very frustrating, especially if you have been in a relationship with someone you were really hoping to spend the rest of your life with. In this video, I will tell you 3 major reasons why men sometimes seem reluctant to walk women down the aisle. So without further ado, let's get into it. Reason number 1, they are not sure about you. The most common reason men delay commitment is because they are uncertain about the woman herself. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. When considering it, a man evaluates if you as a woman will be a trustworthy life partner. He weighs your personality, character, and mindset. And a lot of questions go through his mind. He keeps thinking, does she respect me? Can I safely trust her that she will not leave if I become poor? Is she responsible with money? All these questions keep running through his mind to help him make an informed decision. Now I know you might say, if a man is concerned about your character, why doesn't he talk to you about it? That's a good question. But here's the truth. Most men will really want to talk to you about your personality and character. But the truth is, not many women are humble enough to receive correction gracefully. Most times a correction might turn into a fight. For example, a man might ask you why you came back home late. What he expects you to do will be for you to explain in a humble tone and apologize if necessary without thinking too far. But when a man discovers that whenever he asks you a simple clarification, you tend to escalate it into a fight, it will begin to shut him down from being able to have proper conversations with you. By design, men are less confrontational but more observant by nature. This means that if he notices certain negative traits in you, he might no longer say anything about it, especially if he knows how you'd respond. Subsequently, it will get to a stage where he will no longer address your character with you, but he will instead begin to slowly detach himself emotionally. During this time, you will notice he becomes less affectionate towards you. He might even become cold and distant. A lot of things might start running through his mind, and he starts looking for a way to back out of the relationship. The only problem is that you might not even know he is about to back out. You might still be assuming he is still with you when he has long left you. The only thing going through his mind at this stage is the fact that he doesn't want to go ahead and marry a woman whom he doesn't feel safe with. And before you know it, he leaves you when you least expect it. This is why it is very common to find a man leaving a very attractive and successful woman and rather settle down with someone who looks calm and ordinary. This isn't to encourage men to back out easily out of a relationship. No. What I'm saying is that if a man is dragging you along for years and refusing to commit to you, you might also want to check your character and personality. What might seem okay to you might not be what will be for a man. A man's love language is not gifts or sex. It is honor and respect. A man also wants to feel assured when he is with you. He wants a wife, not a bully of a wife. He wants to be sure you will not leave him if he encounters hardship in the future. He wants to know if in the event he leaves this world tomorrow, his family and children will be in safe hands. Now I know you might say, well, if he doesn't like your character or personality, he might as well just leave. That's very true. He can certainly leave, but you need to consider your position too as a woman, and I'll tell you why. Although men and women are equal in a sense, men do have a positional advantage over a woman when it comes to making a decision about marriage. Let me explain what I mean. By design, a man has more leverage or the power to choose who he will marry, but you as a woman cannot randomly walk up to a man and propose to him, because by design, men are the ones to take the lead and propose. So this means, if you keep approaching your relationships with an I don't care attitude, men will keep dating you and leaving you because of your character, but you will be getting older without being settled, whereas he might simply move on and settle down whenever he feels like it. This isn't to say men are better than women, no. With women, they have a time factor, especially in relation to childbirth and all that. As you get older, settling down might become more challenging. Marriage is too weighty a decision to make lightly, and so always consider your character too when it comes to men making a commitment. If the man feels safe within, he will be the very one to ask for your hands in marriage. You won't even need to force him or put any pressure on him. Neither would you ever need to ask. He will want to secure you as quickly as possible because he knows that if he loses you, he will find it extremely difficult to find another woman like you. But when a man begins to notice certain personality issues with your character that make him uncomfortable and less safe, he will begin to drag. He might have noticed certain traits in your personality that make him significantly worried. Reason 2, you're giving him wife benefits early. Another common commitment killer is prematurely acting like his wife before marriage. God designed physical intimacy for the marriage covenant. When given too freely in dating, it hinders valuing marriage rightly. The same goes for wife-like support. If you are acting like a wife to a boyfriend or whichever one he is, you will not have the motivation to go ahead. He benefits from your wife's substance without the commitment. Nobody buys a cow when the milk is for free. This also includes living together before marriage. That's actually the worst. This one-sided dynamic cripples his motivation to marry. He is full without having to assume responsibility. Don't trade wife privileges for a ring. Keep your focus on discerning character and compatibility before acting married. If he really wants to get all the benefits he needs from a wife, then he knows what to do. Let him bring the ring. No one drives a car off without paying for it. Reason 3. He's not financially ready. Well, this might not be a very necessary factor, but at least it should be considered. Many men hesitate to commit today because they do not feel financially equipped enough yet to say, "I do." Providing weighs heavily on men. The curse in Genesis links providing with masculinity. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground. Men feel called to establish provision for a household before proposing. Student debt burdens young adults. Housing, medical, and child costs are daunting. Jobs seem precarious. Prevailing as sole breadwinner is a formidable task. Waiting until he feels financially ready for a family before marrying is not necessarily selfishness or flaw, but sober wisdom about heavy burdens he will bear. If he seems caught in perpetual delay, gently ask how you can help bear the load together. Avoid demands or frustrations. Support his stewardship prudence, not endless perfectionism. You should also know that as a woman, your role is to support him. This means you also have your own dreams and aspirations to chip into the marriage. Above all, pray. Seek God together about provision. God promises to supply all our needs in Christ Jesus. As we walk in obedience and faith, He directs our paths to amazing provision. In Him, we can move forward in hopeful confidence, not fear. Remind Him God reigns over both of your finances as a couple. As you pursue God's heart and honor Him, He directs your path to an equally yoked man after His own. In due time, God will orchestrate a beautiful covenant love story. Commit your way to the Lord. He will act. Wait patiently for Him. God bless you, sisters. Thank you for watching. If you love our video, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel.